Hey guys, welcome back to the Auto Cosmetics YouTube channel. So today we're going to be working on this 1987 Buick Regal 3.8 liter turbo. So this is a pretty rare car. It's an 87 Buick Regal, as I said, but this has the 3.8 liter SFI turbo from the Grand National. There might be a few little differences, I'm not 100% sure, but it is a turbo V6. I'll show you guys the interior. So very good condition. These seats are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you sit on these and it is literally like you're sitting on a lazy boy. Super rad. I love this steering wheel. Let's pop the hood and I'll show you guys what it looks like under there. There she is. So we've got this nice Garrett turbo. We've got an intake pipe with a cone filter down in the front bumper there. It definitely does have some aftermarket support on it. Alright guys, so given the rarity of this car, before I dive in too deep, I do just want to point out some things on here that I want to be very careful around because there's sort of already premature issues and I just don't want to make them worse. So, these chrome strips here, as you can see, the chrome is like bubbling up. It's like, yeah, you can kind of see it. You can see me moving it around. So as I'm power washing, I'm gonna want to make sure I keep a good distance from these chrome trim pieces because they're peeling. And I don't want to make that worse. So yeah, there are a few things, you know, on something that's old and rare like this. You know, we're kind of trying to preserve this car. We're not going for a restoration. So like, yes, the car is gonna look much better when it's done. But like we're not replacing things. We're just kind of working with what we got. So we have to be very careful not to damage anything. You can see around a lot of these badges and stuff, there's a lot of wax buildup. So we'll get in there with like some small detailing brushes and we'll be able to clean all inside these emblems and everything super good. So yeah, we just want to be super careful with this thing. Now we're gonna go ahead, get started with the washing. And then we'll get a full understanding of what we're working with as far as the paint quality on this car. So, yep, we're gonna go ahead, dive into our wash process, and we'll catch back up with you guys on the other side. Alright, so now that the Regal is all washed up, the next thing we're going to start doing is some test spots for our paint correction. So as you can see, if I can get the camera to focus, there we go. The paint is kind of like spider cracking, which is pretty common on older paint like this, especially on the top portions of the vehicle. So as you can see, like the hood, top of the fenders, the roof, the trunk, all of them are pretty bad with those little spider cracks. Then you come down to the lower portions and they're actually pretty good. They're just kind of scratched up. So it's definitely going to be a challenge to get this to look as good as we can. But we're gonna do a few test spots on the trunk here just to kind of decide how we want to attack this. We're gonna go with the least aggressive approach first. And if that's not enough, then we'll continue going up in aggressiveness until we can get a satisfactory finish. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start on the trunk, do a couple, tape off a few sections and do some test spots, and then we'll decide how we wanna approach the rest of the vehicle. All right guys, so the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is use our 6-inch DA polisher with a wool cutting pad. This isn't the most aggressive option, but we don't want to start super aggressive. We want to kind of start where we know we can go up some more. So we're going to start with this pad, see what it does on this section here. Spread it around at low speed and put the hammer down.
Going over this with light pressure.
So, as you guys can see here, this is single stage paint. So whenever we are buffing or polishing on this, we are going to get some transfer to come off of the vehicle and onto our pad. That's because there's no clear coat on top of this paint. It is shiny red paint. Look at that. So easy. Definitely shinier, but I wouldn't call it a massive improvement. Let's pull this tape off, see what we got. So as you can see, we did make a difference. Did make a good difference with that pad, but I need to try and get a little bit more heat in this to try and melt this down a little bit and level out some of those spider cracks. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the big boy rotary at Milwaukee there, put a wool pad on that, and see how that handles this. I think that'll be a little bit better result. All right, let's give this a try. So we're using a rotary this time. Kind of spread it around a little bit without any speed. A nice low speed. Spread her around. And we're going to crank up the speed. We're going to use this thing right on the side of the pad. That's going to give us the most aggressive.
It's pretty bad. I'm seeing a lot of like really deeply etched in watermarks as I'm doing this. And sometimes, you're not able to get paint to look perfect, especially when it's, about 40 years old. Sometimes you just gotta get it as good as you can. I do think that this is definitely a drastic improvement.
we'll stop there. Yeah, this is definitely looking much better. All right, so that did make a pretty drastic improvement. So we still definitely have some of that spider cracking going on. If you pan over here, it is drastically better. Here's the other test spot we did. There's where we did nothing, and there's after a heavy cut. We can get the rest of the car looking like this, we're gonna be golden. So we're gonna keep going down this side. The pinstripe, you may have noticed, is off. We're removing the pinstripe and putting a new one on. He requested if we could do that. But as you can see, it's definitely just kind of swirled up on this side compared to the other side. And then up top, it's kind of hard to see. It looks a lot better. All those crow's feet and everything. Out in the sun, it looks fantastic. In here, it still looks kind of like orange peely. But it's coming out really nice. So we're gonna continue down the rest of this side of the car. And then we're about done with the heavy buffing and stuff like that. And then once she's all done, before we ceramic coat it, I am gonna go back over the whole thing with the DA and a very soft foam polishing pad. And that's just gonna really enhance the shine on this and make it look as good as we can. It is a 1987 and the paint is original. So we're doing the best we can. It is coming out really good though for what it is. So stay tuned, super excited to see how this one turns out when it's all finished.
What are you doing, Levi?
Just polishing this Regal right here.
Yeah?
Yep.
You like this thing?
I do. Pretty sweet. You like it?
Yeah. Good.
It's pretty sweet.
I'm ceramic coating the Regal right now, and it looks amazing. So check out this paint. I mean, compared to what it did look like, it looks really, really good now. So what we're using here is IGL quartz. This is a 2-year ceramic coat, and it's adding a ton of gloss to this paint. Outside in the sun, this thing's really gonna pop and look absolutely amazing. We're already completely done this side, as well as the roof, hood, and trunk deck. But yeah, as you can see, this side, I mean, you could say that this paint had clear coat on it, and I'd believe you. I mean, it has so much depth and gloss. You can still see all those little spider cracks and stuff on the hood, but they look way, way better than they did. And we've actually got a nice reflection now. So out in the sun, you literally can't even see those spider cracks. There's so much metallic in this paint that it really just pops. There's a real goober.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so let me turn on the UV light here. And I'll show you guys how she looks. As you can see, that paint has a ton of depth, ton of gloss, ton of metallic too. So yeah, out in the sun, it's gonna look pretty good. So we're gonna continue down the side here. We've just got the quarter panel left, and that's it. So this has not been coated yet. This is just after buffing and polishing. Then the door has been coated. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, coat this quarter panel, and then that should be it for ceramic coat. We just finished up the ceramic coat and pulled it outside in the sun, and it literally looks like brand new. So it's got a ton of depth, a ton of gloss. And the hood here, as you can see, you can't really see any of them spider cracks or anything. It just looks so good. I really have fallen in love with this car. I love these old 80s G-body cars. They just definitely have a special place in my heart. But this thing definitely looks killer. I mean, it looks so much better than before. The roof. Oh yeah, you can see all that metallic flake popping. Yeah. This thing looks awesome. Taillights looking brand new. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this came out.